The Antichrist is a superhuman. Revelation 13:1, as we cross the line, and we have 12 minutes to finish the Antichrist off. Number one, he's super intelligent. Remember, Satan is the most powerful, the most brilliant, the most everything creature God ever made. And by this point, when he's confined to earth, he is very much influencing this guy. Now, when he's described in Daniel 7, now the Antichrist has 33 different descriptors in the Old Testament and maybe 16 in the New Testament. So he's really a big figure in the Bible. Right here, and I see all of your hands, but I can't answer because I have 12 slides, but don't forget your question. If you tell me, I'll forget it, because I'm going to get through this. But when Daniel describes him, he has eyes in this horn, this creature that Daniel sees, a mouth in this horn, speaking pompous words. So the Antichrist is intelligent, he's a super-communicator. Daniel says he devours the whole earth. So this guy is a super general. He tramples. I mean, it's like nobody can defeat him because Satan's behind him, and he's able to do it. He's also in chapter 8, he's a businessman. You can't just destroy everything. He's also causing prosperity, but then he takes advantage of the people. So he's a super businessman. He's just plain a superman. Super politician. He comes peaceably, but seizes the kingdom by intrigue. Daniel 9 and 11:21. Again, how does he get the Arab-Israeli intractable problem solved? Look at what Daniel 11 says. This is an amazing description of the Antichrist. It says that he shall regard neither the God of his fathers, that's Judaism, nor the desire of women. He could be a homosexual, we would call him today, gay, because he has no desire for women. He doesn't regard any God. He's irreligious. So he's not a religious in the normal sense. And it says he shall exalt himself above them all. So you talk about a super ego. Powerful. It says that in their place, he honors the God of fortresses. That word is used 3 other times in chapter 11, and it speaks of a powerful fortress. So he's kind of like this, I don't know, Superman is what he's like. But we should beware of him because Satan is empowering him to make fake signs and wonders. Satan can do this. A second beast comes out of the earth. He has 2 horns like a lamb, speaks like a dragon. He exercises all the authority of the Antichrist in his presence. That's the first beast. He causes the earth and those on it to dwell to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Now here's the verse I want you to see. Look at verse 13. This is a false prophet. So we have the Antichrist, and we have his sidekick, the false prophet. And look what he can do. He performs great signs. So he even makes fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. Satan can do lightning. That's fire coming down from heaven on earth. So here's the Antichrist, and he says, you doubt I'm the one you're supposed to follow? And he looks over at his sidekick and says, do it. And he goes, and he doesn't even need Thor's hammer. It's real. See, that's how powerful Satan is and how deceptive he is. So look what this false prophet does. And we're starting to see the beginning of this. Right here is science and technology from our news. And they're talking about the technological singularity. This is what all the Silicon Valley people are working on. They're trying to download their brains, which are electronic communications, into a computer so they can live forever. So their brain, the real them, they're trying to download. And they're talking about the fact in the future where humans and machines will be able to merge. Now, we've already seen that in movies. Well, I haven't, but many people have. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger was the original Terminator, right? And he came from a different time and was killing people in the past or something. I don't know. But the real Terminator is coming. Here it is. He deceives those who dwell on the earth by these signs, which he's granted to do in the sight of the beast. He tells those on earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. So there's an assassination attempt. The Antichrist is attempted to be assassinated. Everyone thinks he's going to die. Then he doesn't die. And so he lives, and he was granted power, this is the false prophet, to give breath to the image, that's the idol or robot or whatever they make in the image of the Antichrist, give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast can speak and cause everybody who won't worship the image of the beast to be killed. That is a terminator. That's a real terminator. Have you ever thought what it would be if you get Satan and artificial intelligence inside of a robot? That's a terminator. And that's what enforces the 666 thing. This creature, this terminator thing, has all the database of everybody, and he just goes around the world scanning and says, nope, you don't have the mark, nope, you don't have the mark, kill you, kill you, kill you. And that's horrible. And that's coming. So the people line up to get the mark. They want to receive it. They don't want the Terminator beast to get them. And so he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or their foreheads, that no one may buy or sell except the one who has the mark of the name of the beast or the number of his name. The mark of the beast is a chosen, visible mark or ID that happens then. It's not getting a social security number today. It's not your bank account. It's not your cell phone number. You know, we spend so much time trying to resist what God doesn't tell us to resist, and not resisting what God does tell us to resist. Because it's easier to try and figure out who the Antichrist is, who the beast is, what the number of the beast is, what 666 is. I mean, I went to church. I pastored a church in Oklahoma where there was a lawyer whose full-time job was to keep everybody in the church from being issued a social security number, and they paid hundreds of dollars to him so that they would not give their kids a social security number because it's the mark of the beast. Amazing. I admire them for their desire to stay clear of Satan, but that's not what God tells us to resist. He tells us to resist Satan by knowing the truth, living the truth, loving the truth, everything we already covered last hour. The greatest danger facing believers today is not their social security number or their phone number or, whatever, getting the COVID vaccine. Those are not the greatest dangers facing us today. It's deception. And deception, Paul said, with all unrighteous deception among those who perish because they did not receive. Now here's Paul's most beautiful description of a true Christian. The love of the truth that they might be saved. If you don't love the truth, you have never been saved. If you don't love the truth today, you are not saved. The description of salvation in the Bible is the implanted word of God. We love the truth. The truth sets us free. The truth of the gospel, the truth of the deity of Christ, the truth of his imputation and substitution for us. And for this reason, God sends them, the people who don't love the truth, who are not saved, who are deceived, strong delusion that they believe the lie. You see, people say, now this is another one I've heard, if you've ever heard the gospel before the rapture, you will not be able to be saved after the rapture. That's a terrible thing to tell someone. But yet that's something that they use in invitation times. They say, if the Lord comes tonight and you don't respond, you won't be able to respond later. Does the Bible say that? This is where they get it from. That does not say what you may have heard. This says that people who never receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved. This is after the rapture, by the way, quite a long ways after the rapture. They're still allowed to hear the truth. They're still allowed to respond to the truth, no matter how many times they've heard it. But at this point, in Paul talking about the full-blown ministry of the Antichrist, they're condemned who did not believe the truth. But here's the definition of who is lost. They have pleasure in unrighteousness. Do you love sin? That's a very serious, damnable condition. I'm a sinner. In fact, I'm the worst sinner I know in the whole world because I don't know any of you well enough to know why you do whatever you do. But I do know me, and I know how much I know about the Lord, and I know his truth. And so I'm the worst sinner I know because I know how much I know and how much I don't obey. But I hate sin. And that's one of the strong evidences of salvation. Basically, the Bible teaches, and we have 2 minutes left, an invasion from the pit. In the last days, during the last days, most people will be led astray by evil spirits, occult teaching. So how do you escape the mark of the beast? Right there. This I'll show you. That's a page in my Bible. I am forgiven. God has removed my debts, as it says in Ephesians 1. I am justified. God changed my state. Remember I showed you my little picture the first day we were here about dead in trespasses, sin. He redeemed us. He justifies us. He sanctifies us. I am justified. God lifted me up in my standing. I'm regenerated. I have a new heart. I am reconciled. God is my friend. I'm adopted into his family. I'm redeemed. That's when he grabbed me out of the slave market of sin. And I'm sanctified. The only protection against the mark of the beast is God's signature on our life. Remember? They're sealed. That means being born again. That means experiencing those doctrines.